by security agencies. The resolution was approved by 72 senators who signed the registered plenary and 10 others who were busy at committee meetings. All right, Majid Jami, let's start this way. This is not the first time Danlandi Umar has been enmeshed in all sorts of controversies. But what is your view on the case and the decision to have him sacked? What's your view of it?
Well, you know, you can. Your appointment is at the prerogative of the president.
Okay.
And there has been, according to the Senate, there has been a lot of allegations bordering on corruption and misappropriation of funds against him. And recall that in June, the president nominated Abdullahi Usman to replace him. Danladi refused to leave.
I think he locked.
Yes,
he locked the place.
And what audacity! He locked the place. The other man, Abdullahi Usman, was cleared by the Senate on 4th of July by a 72-man majority, which means the president passed through due process. I mean, something happened yesterday. The VC of University of Namdi Azikiwe was removed. Today he said he can't be, nobody can remove him.
Yeah, he said he'll still go there.
He said he will go there, that nobody can remove him on press release, by press release. You know, what audacity. You know, so the same thing is happening with Danladi. You've been there for so long, and the Senate sat, they invited him several events. They said he only came once. And that he said he doesn't have time for them until, I mean, they now removed him at the past by a 2/3 majority yesterday. So whether he will still keep the key of the place in his pocket now, we'll wait to see. I mean, you didn't appoint yourself. You were appointed by the president. The president nominated another person. Cleared by the Senate. They allowed the gentleman to resume.
But do you think he will have some backers, some unseen faces?
No, there are no backers.
Who are giving him some sort of confidence?
There are no backers. I think what he was saying then was that, I mean, he passed through the Senate. I mean, he was cleared by the Senate before he could assume duty. That it only takes the Senate to remove him. And, you know, there are some positions like that. There are some statutory positions like that, like some federal commissioners in some agencies like Hajj Commission and what have you, like the FCCPC, I mean, they are commissioners, or NCC. There are some statutory bodies like that that requires Senate clearance. So the president can suspend, but even when you are suspended, you are supposed to stop coming to the office. But he said he was suspended and not removed. So even when the Senate cleared another nominee, he refused to, he kept the key in his pocket and he kept the place under lock and key, you know, until, so maybe they will now go and force the key from him going forward now. I see it as just sheer audacity, because the president has the power to hire and fire.
True.
So, yes, you need Senate clearance. But before the president would name a replacement, which was even cleared as far back as 4th of July. Almost how many months ago? It's not as if the person has not been cleared by the Senate. I mean, the replacement was cleared by the Senate since July 4. So what are you still doing there?
Okay, but this Danladi Umar, this is not the first time he's been involved in all sort of controversy. Remember in 2021, Banex Plaza in Abuja, he had an issue, which some people thought, even with that one, that misconduct, it should have been. But why did it take so long, you know, before he was removed?
Unfortunately, that is what sometimes becomes our reality in Nigeria. Because that incident of 2021, I was almost very sure that it was going to lose that office, because it was a public embarrassment and it was an open disgrace.
Exactly.
I mean, for a person manning such an office. But,
Code of Conduct Tribunal.
Yes. So for him to have been left without being punished, So, you know, sometimes when you have done the worst according to your own interpretation, nothing happened, you feel, yes, I can do and undo nothing.
Do you think he has some strong men behind him?
Whatever. Let's assume he has some strong men that are above the Constitution of Nigeria, men that are above and beyond Mr. President, men that have more power than the Senate
of the Federal Republic?
I think at this point, it should begin to have a rethink, because he's clearly embarrassing himself. I mean, in fact, it's a complete shame, because, you know, there are some times you are removed from an office,
yes,
and some other government will come in and maybe look into it and feel that, okay, maybe it was not proper the way you were being removed from the office. But from the way, what he has displayed, I don't think any government will want to have anything to do with him. He has completely embarrassed himself, embarrassed the office, and embarrassed the country, Nigeria. It's a shame.
Why do you think it took so long, even looking at all of the controversies?
Well, as I said, it's audacity. Yeah, I mean, let me...
No, but it's the Senate that is under Section 157, subsection 1. You know,
I mean,
why did it take so long for the Senate themselves to...
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't know how to explain this. The president named a replacement in June.
Yes.
Was cleared by July. So I think it's just sheer audacity. I don't know those who are backing him that still keep him. But I think the people like this should not go scot-free.
Should not go scot-free.
Yes.
Okay, but just hold that thought, and I apologize. We have Saliu calling from Surulere. Saliu, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much. Hello?
All right, Saliu, let's talk.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Let's talk.
Please, I want to make a point to what... Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to make a point to the CCT chairman. You see, the president is not above the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution states before you remove a judge, the Senate must find him, must indict him. They didn't indict him by the Senate. The president cannot just appoint somebody without being indicted, and the Senate now indict him, then the president will now sign and appoint somebody. So the idea is they are putting the cart before the horse. The man is standing on the point of no, it's not audacity. We must ask the president to rule by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is the law. That is the grand law.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. What are your thoughts on what he said?
The same, like I said, the same Senate cleared the nominee of the president. And the Senate made it clear, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, the Senate Majority Leader, made it clear that he was invited severally. He only came once. He never came again. So the case has been on. It's not a new thing. And that's why the Senate cleared the nominee of the president on July 4. So it's not as if whether there was no indictment. There was an indictment, but because it took some time for the Senate to conclude on his case, because he never made himself available. So it's not as if there was no indictment. I think Mr. Salisu should go and read the proceedings very well and get some understanding. It's not as if the president just appointed. There was an indictment. There were allegations of corruption as read out by the Senate Majority Leader on the floor of the House. And he made it very clear that he was invited severally. He only came once. So the Senate too, they have their own rules and which they follow. And that's why they cleared the nominee of the president on 4th of July, where he refused to vacate the office.
Now
that's audacity.
Now that the Senate has now, it should be sacked, the timeline for the president to actually, put a signature, what should be the timeline? And how do you think the president should react to this?
The president should react according to what the law says. There has to be a process.
Okay.
And it should be followed. So the time between the yes and the no, yes, the governor of the president should fall within the ambit of the law.
Okay.
However, I feel that if you have enough respect for the Senate of your country. This same group of people, you were there, they checked you out, they realized that, okay, you are worth being in that office. And now you are misbehaving, and they called you to come and defend yourself. And you call their bluff several times. How does that, what does that boil down to? So the truth of the matter is, let us put sentiment aside.
Okay.
Let us look at what the law says and follow due process. That is it.
That is it. Okay. I think it's a fine place for us to leave it there. Okay, let's just move straight